No, I deleted it. It's a failure. Okay, here's my how my library works. Just add that to a class, and then you're done. Well, almost. You still have to implement it. Okay. I guess I'll just for declare this because no need to include a header in this header. I thought I turned that off. Or is this when I no, when I hit enter? Okay. Turn this one off. Yeah. So that would be bridge, right? Class bridge, I guess. That looks like a class. Okay, and then we would have to do inside this function we'll specify the node name and a version, I guess. I'm not sure we want to support versions. I mean, it's just for debugging. Hot chocolate. So no text explaining this. Okay, this is something that only occurs in second to last. Nope, don't get it. Yeah, let's keep it simple. So ignoring versions, the example that I have here is just doing, well, still need a node name, I guess. Let's do the node name. And the node name is then, of course, FlatCreateInfo. And then I don't have an attribute, at least that would be the version. Set version, another attribute, mandatory, optional attribute. Children en foobar vec. Now I'm starting to doubt that I have support for vectors or vectors. We have a children's stream, whatever that may be. Param, emparams. Standard set and the standard vectors and strings. Also children's stream. Children's stream is for read or write a list of child elements with the same name to or from a standard container using a read from stream / write from to stream for the child elements. That's probably what I need then for arbitrary objects like other vectors. Read or write a list of child elements with the same name to or from a standard container. See, that would call XML again on it, which standard vector doesn't have. Let's use this children's stream. Name container method. Nobody knows what method is. Method. Container add. Insert method or pushback method. Bridge children's stream. It has a default pushback, so let's use that. Learn stream Control T, no, Control Tab. So FlatCreateInfo exists on loads of stuff. We're just gonna do the first one. Using, so this one, right? Oh my god, it's a it's a wrapped thing. Oh yeah. Yeah, damn it. I think this has to, this needs, or requires different support for reading and writing, but I don't want that. Maybe I can just add support for something wrapped in AI thread safe wrapper. But it gets quickly more complicated. So in theory, you would like to do something like this. You have a name and you have whatever you want to read and write to XML. Maybe you should start a little bit easier now I think about it. Probably have one that is not wrapped. No. Okay, let's start super easy. Well, super easy. Let's start with, well, easy enough. Let's start with this one. It's not a container or anything difficult. Let's try to compile that. Oh, I still have to add this header. There's really not enough documentation here, or is there? Wait, here's documentation. My god, what a lot. Mm-mm. Yeah, so here that's what I need. Does not need to be a class with XML method. But yeah, but can any type that will be read from or written to by call to read from stream or write to stream respectively, which are template functions that by default you just use the okay, but I can specialize them then. So I don't want to change my XML library, I'll have to go this route. But for the one thing that I have now, I don't have almost nothing as a, I cannot add the XML method to almost anything, which is not good. Or I can do text stream, yeah. Optional attribute, no. It's just not good. I would totally do this differently. It's too bad. Not sure I want to put time into rewriting my XML library. The way this is now, it's hardly usable because instead of using XML member functions, I should have used an external function that is specialized in all cases, I think. You can do all the XML I cannot pronounce it. Serialization outside of the classes. But yeah, and then again, maybe we can do it. Maybe we can update the library. Read write a child element using child XML bridge. You could follow it, Omnic. Amazing. Yeah, I don't know why. I wrote this originally also for the Second Life viewer, for some Second Life viewer. Not for to be used at large scale, but because I was running my own copybot. So this would read and write any class that is used in the Second Life viewer to disk in order to, you know, copy stuff and save it to disk. And my main objective was that every element of a class only needs a single little hook, as opposed to like what you mostly see, requiring two hooks, one to read and one to write something. It's kind of magically doing both things at the same time. It's definitely not it. Stream is using a stream, but it's also not it. This is what I need, I think. I mean, at least then I have something that I can specialize. Read or write an optional child element using a read from stream / write to stream. The name of the element, a reference to the corresponding variable to read from / write to, value to use when reading a child element that is missing. On the other hand, I don't really want to use the stream at all. I just don't want to be forced to add an XML bridge method. That's for optional childs. Yeah, I think I just need charts and then find some way to extend that to using externally specialized functions instead of a member function. So let me try that. Yeah, where are we now? Control, I don't know, pipeline. Oh, I mean, yeah, this is where I am. And I was trying chart. Well, we don't have a name here. So, and we still need to know which header to include. Let's have a look at the examples. Well, this is an example. Let's have a look at another example. Catalog test. Yeah, reader and writer. Oh, right, yeah. In the end, I need a way to actually write it to disk. And then you need this. So I guess that the this file here, per se, just needs bridge, but I'm also going to need a function to actually serialize it. How shall we do that? Guess it has nothing to do with FlatCreateInfo. That would just be the object that I want to serialize. So then let's include here XML bridge.h. Kai code, I have no idea. I would say Google it. Apparently we need the XML library, what is it called? XML CBP or something maybe? Oh. Find package something, I have no idea. I guess this 17. All right. However, that's inside XML. I would rather look at something that is using that. Try that again. It's also in protocols. And probably that's the best example I have. It's just a repeat of what is being done in the XML. And I have to repeat it again. Man, that's code duplication. Package config. Yeah, whatever. And now we have to link with that. Sure. Now, edit here. And plus I only need it when the debugging mode is on. How do we do that? I don't know anymore. How do I check here if my debug option is set? Would have been too nice now, wouldn't it? Oh, or not. No. If option enable debug global. This is probably what I want. Just one example in documentation. I want this to be set, right? So this is the one. Yeah, well, something like that. And then if this is empty, that wouldn't hurt, I suppose. Okay, let's have a look if it actually looked for XML. Subdirectory, source Vulkan, found boost, found serial. No mention of XML. Disappointing. Also, protocols would be or should be using it. One of these also don't print anything. Why? Strange. I guess we'll have to wait till linking to see if that worked. In the meantime, we do have the problem that the .xml method does not exist. So required from here. That's when I try to use child on this thing here. It says VK pipeline input assembly state create info has no member named XML. And that's in this file at this point. Yeah, now I can do the following trick. So we could use O streams, but I don't want to. So what if we do child on an object that does not have an XML member? Well, in that case, for a start, I have to switch to C++20, methinks, and then use a concept to check if my object has an XML or not. I would like to do that with a const expression if. So how do you detect during compile time if something exists? So it's the only thing I can think of as a concept. Not sure. Can you use a concept as an... nobody knows way. Maybe beyond my experience. So let me see. Test C++, use concepts in if const expression. This is exactly what I want. Now let there be an answer. It is sufficient to do if const expression integral t, since integral t is already testable as bool. Constants are named Boolean predicates on template parameters, evaluated compile time. Okay, so then what's being left is, if this is the concept, I can make my own concept. Just dump it here. I'm going to call that has XML. Where's my S XML? And then here I can do if const expression has XML T. Sorry. So now it should no longer compile this line if that type does not have XML, provided that I implement my a concept correctly, of course. Yep. So instead of integral, we have has XML. So now how to write a concept to test if a certain member function exists. I wrote down one before, which is called has print on. Okay, I'm putting all of this in a namespace. It's probably only required for this thing here. So ignoring the namespace, we just make a template that is false by default. Let's just copy all of this, I guess. Yeah. So instead of print on, we'll use XML. By default, it evaluates to false, but here we have specialization. It is specialization because we have one template parameter less. Super dirty. But it will prefer this one if it compiles. And it will only compile when this compiles. Which is... yeah, using standard void type. Okay, don't ask me. I don't even know what that is. I think someone told me how to write this. But we can at least change it, and I unsend declaration type. I think standard void type apparently requires some kind of type, and then everything is okay. But that means that this type must exist. Which means that this must compile, otherwise it doesn't have a type. And then the type T is passed to a declaration value. So then we have an actual object of type T, and we call on it XML with some argument, which is again a declaration value of some type. So that will be the argument. So we are not going to pass a standard outstream. We want to pass a bridge reference. So both, well, this one actually, it's non-const, oops. So non-const member function, so bridge, or this pointer is also non-const inside of here. So this would be a non-const bridge reference. And that's what we try to pass here as well. And if that works, then it has an XML member function that you can pass bridge. Yay, except, no exception, that's it. The feeling that this works. So now it should be able to compile it, because since this is a const expression if, it will see that this is false and therefore not even try to compile it. So you won't get an error because it's not trying to compile it. That's the idea, at least. Let's try that. Yep, and that worked. And then, of course, the other case. So if it does not have an XML object, I want to use an external function, which I then can specialize. So I need some external function which mimics XML. What namespace are we in? I guess I can just put it in this namespace, right? Shall I just call it XML? It's a bit short. External free XML. It's a bit weird word. It's a free function. Damn it, I cannot think of a word. I hesitate to use XML because that would match the namespace. Okay, apart from the name, then we have to pass, of course, the object itself and the this pointer. And this is then going to do more or less the same thing as that. But then as a free function. So yeah, gonna call it serialize. But yeah, it is already inside the namespace XML, so let's just call it serialize. And then of course serialize must exist. My music is a bit too loud. Why is my music so loud? Hold on. It's not that. No, it's just... Okay, so let's add a template function where T is still the object then. Suppose thing doesn't return anything. It's called serialize. We need a T reference for the object. It's just the same thing that we pass here. Argument. And the bridge, which is then the bridge reference. So that's an empty function. I could just not define it at all, and then we get a linker error. Let's try that. It's a bit vague though, you know. I just get a linker error, and then I have to know that I have to specialize it. I wonder if I can add a static assert to it, which is only executed if... Oh, that would probably work. If I add a static assert that is dependent on type T, so I should, can I again has XMLT. Absolute horror, because that's false, right? I mean, we tested that is false. So it's a fake way to have false that depends on T. And then I can say here XML serialize is not specialized for this T. In instantiation of XML serialize T bridge with T is required from void blah 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 blah, required from here, static assertion failed, XML serialize is not specialized for this T. Where T is that? That's exactly what I wanted to see. And then the specialization should exist, let's say, close to where we need it, which is there. I think that if I add specialization simply in this file, and that would be good enough. Let's test that. I do need a specialization before this point, so I'm going to have to, that's my mouse buffer. Let's close the namespace here, reopen it again. And then here I can do namespace XML. And then, well, actually all of that is in debug code. And then we have here void serialize. And that is an object, and we have a bridge, and then that's our specialization. Not doing anything, but hey, now it should compile, I think. Yep. How awesome is that? So now instead of having an XML method like FlatCreateInfo has, this is called for that object. So okay, the bridge is called XML, I see. Sorry, that is a normal word for it. Change that here as well. And then we have to call, we have to give it a node name. And then we have to pass all the children. Now hopefully this is going to be easier because, well, child cannot be used because that would call XML again. But I think I can find now examples. Yeah. It's actually a good question. If I want to, rather, if I have to serialize this as well, it's supposed to be a constant. So if I read it back from disk, I want it to have this value, but I don't want it to write it to disk because it's just always the same thing, depending on the type. I'm also going to ignore the p next because that's probably 0 anyway. When it wouldn't be, then I don't know what to do. I'll leave not yet. It's too difficult. So let's just serialize these 3 things. And in fact, pipeline input assembly create flags is, oh, that's a flags thing to make it easy. Arg. Probably, oh my god. It can never be easy, can it? Yeah, I still have to write code that serializes basically the whole Vulkan API. Ouch. They have support for writing into an O stream, I guess for debugging, but not to read it from an I stream. I don't think so. I think it would be the easiest thing for flags would be to just write it as an unsigned int 32 bits. Just write the value. That would make it harder to inspect the XML file though. So that's kind of sad, but how shall we do this? Primitive topology, that's another problem. That's an enum class. So I need support for reading and writing enums of arbitrary type. Oh, right. Yeah, that's a whole project by itself, man. Take me a day just to do the enums, I think. How late is it now? Yeah, in half an hour I want to stop, so just we're getting nowhere in that time. No, it's not easy at all. And this is the simplest one. That would be a bool 32, whatever that is. That's an UN32 type. Okay, we can do that one. Let's begin with this one, just this one, and see if that works. So that's kind of a built-in type then. So that would be object dot that thing, and then it's not a child because that's not going to work. At least I don't think so. But let's just have a look at the examples again in my XML library. Catalog test surely has built-ins. For example, float. That's close enough to a boolean. So how do we serialize price child stream? Okay. Could also be an attribute, I guess. An item number and string. Gender is being used here as an attribute. Also a string. Okay. The difference is I don't have them here, but I have them here. So an attribute is added like this, and the price, so child, is added like that, child stream. Doesn't really matter, I guess. Let's use the child stream. See if that works. No matching function for call to XML bridge child stream vk bool 32. Candidate is character const pointer. Oh, I have to pass a name. Right, so now, now we have to add a code that writes it to disk somewhere, so we can see what the result is. Or I guess I'll just write it not to disk, but I'll write it to the monitor. Let's have a look at the pipeline factory. FlatCreateInfo. FlatCreateInfo. So here it's done, I think. Create the next pipeline, and we're just reading from FlatCreateInfo. So at this point we could do a dump. It says wdebug and if. And now I want to write the FlatCreateInfo as XML to whatever. And I have no idea how. So we have a look here. That example again. Let's use example. Yeah, probably here, main. This, we have a path here, file path. Create an XML reader that reads. I want an example for writing. Okay, here's writing. XML writer, passing an OStream, and then just write it. Okay, that's like three lines. So we do this. Yeah, I would like to write it to my debug stream, actually. But that ain't easy, as usual. Trying to dig into my memory if I can create an O string that then writes in the correct way to my debug output. That would have to be something special. I can't shake the feeling that I already have that somewhere. Yeah, I don't know, man. Let's write it to disk. Might as well as easy. Actually, it comes pretty close. Debug buff. We're writing this to not to an OStream, we're writing it to a debug buff. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I had in mind. Let's just copy this in. Where's debug buff defined? No, we already have that. Wait, what namespace is that? Namespace. Probably not namespace, but I think this one, namespace debug start, which is probably just debug. Although that's not what I should use. No, wait, not here. Sorry guys, need to copy this to To here. Do you mean debug buff? Yeah. It knows. Rose Bunny, why is my mug with chocolate milk empty? I could make a new, but yeah, that would mean I have to stir a lot and stuff. The writer is not a member of XML. So much if diffs. Now I have to recognize that output, so I need to again think about what other output we have here. Probably happens. We should get here after printing that. There we go. Ah, looks pretty ugly. I have no idea why it is printed like this. It looks like it's printing color codes. The green color codes like printed every character separately. And then at the end, what is this? I mean, what? What is it? S. Version. Oh, it is here. Less than question mark XML. Version equals quote 1.0. So the reason that we see all this mess is just that the stupid editor thinks that all these things are taking space. This is the only new line I see. If it's a new line at all. Probably. So the whole, I don't know, it's a bit of a failure, I have to say. But what we could do is just grab for this. Or not. Why does that not work? Huh? So because of all the escape codes. Yeah, of course, there's loads of escape codes in between it. So average, it's more like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. Also 6 lines. No, let's give it 8 lines. 7. So this looks like version 1.0 encoding UTF standalone. Yes. FlatCreateInfo. Pipeline input assembly state create info. The child. Primitive restart enable 0. No, looks perfect to me. So it prints 0 for the boolean. But that one was easy, as it were. Code blocks is not the one that I was working in. This is the one that I was working in. Also not. I don't know which one. Right, okay, so this is the one then. No, let's try the flags. The flags. I think this should work because, well, the writing is working, but the reading, I doubt it. So, I wonder if this is going to give an error or just fail another way. Yeah, it doesn't know iStream. Read from stream with flags is that. Required from, blah, blah, blah. No match for operator reading from iStream. Now, let me think. We can provide one to begin with. But there's a lot of flags. Okay, let's provide one. It wants to have an operator. Or I can overload this one. Read from stream. That probably makes a lot more sense. Let's try that. It's already an iStream. Oh, I knew it. Required from XML element return type text stream with required from XML bridge child stream. You cannot specialize that, right? It's in something in bridge. Yeah. Okay, I don't know. Let's see. What is this? That's the top of the file. What? Pretty sure I copied. That is line 4. And it's just include. I don't know. VI. Read from stream. Okay, that's where it is called. No, this thing is specialized the hell out of, so we have to do that as well. So I'm going to specialize it for flags, any flag. Challenge ahead. Let's just go back to this one here. The more in. So let's first see if the specialization works. Read from stream is normally just which type you want to have here. So type name T and then T reference. But that would not be a specialization, of course. So that was an interesting thing, though. That it is specialized with the argument here and then use something else there. That again depends on T. What? Yeah, fun. I think I have to do that as well here. Of course, I want to specialize it, but now I want to specialize it on oh boy. It is specialized. I think it's still specialized if I just use VK flags here. I'm not 100% sure, but I would say that this is a specialization of just using T reference. So it should prefer this one as long as it is a VK flags. And then since we're doing nothing here, we should get rid of our compile error. Why is that not working? Nope. It did not pick up that specialization. It still gets here. Void read from stream. Why? Now let's first try it like that. I mean, that's like, if this is not a specialization, then I don't know what it is. At least now it should pick it up. Yeah, that works. So why is it not a specialization if I want to do that? I don't know. I'll have to ask on IRC, I think. Which means I need to make a test case. And I don't like one box because they refuse to install. that was funny. Someone had used Pastebin and that's not allowed. So they said, use godball.org. And then he gave this link of godball.org, where he just pasted the link to Pastebin. Really? Not in Vim? Why not in Vim? Okay. Test case. Oops, I refuse to use, I mean, I'm not going to guess, so I'm just going to use exactly what is defined here. Flags. Oh my god, now I have to find flags again. That's flags. And that is inside namespace VK. I don't think I have to write any implementation inside it though. Just a type is enough. So let's keep it like that. And then I have a read from stream inside namespace XML. The unspecialized form is this, I suppose. Tell. Now let's make an enum as well for the bit type. Guess that doesn't really matter much. That's a bloody empty thing. It's an empty enum. Okay, an enum class. Nope. I need a name of the thing. The name was flags. Good, so it's these bits here. Yeah. Oh, I hate that. I hate that so much. What is this? The ridiculousness. You have to move the mouse precisely at that point and then paste it. Does the thing not have a settings here? Oh, please don't. Automatically indent code. Highlight link. Show others. Use custom context. Show editor mini map. Use spaces for indentation. We'll go to lens. That is. Unfortunately, they do not say paste anywhere. No. Don't appear to be logged in though. Yeah, I should go there very quickly. I am going quickly indeed. But have fun and post. And the thing was empty. And now it doesn't even know how to do indentation. Right. And then we get an in main, I suppose. Seriously. Also this, I do O, and I'm indented 4 spaces. Can I edit it? Top width, oh, it's not top width, it's indent. But okay, who knows this works? Nope, now I don't have any indentation. Just taped it, whatever. So what I want to do here is call this function with foo, and then some iStream as well. And then foo is then VK, I guess this one, right? Oh, can we run this? I should have put it in one box anyway. God knows what this is. Second source. Why is there not here? Oh, compile, yeah. Forget this. What do the dots here on? I don't even understand how to work with this. Oh, we compile, yeah. Copy. Give me something workable. One box, yay. One box forever. And of course it ruined my copy paste buffer. No, not compile. Copy. Here, paste it. Now I have it. Finally, yeah, that's a simple run button. Okay, warning, same warning. But at least now I understand that maybe. Oh wait, this is C++ 20. Nothing wrong with enum clause. in space vk template class flags blah blah enum class colon. Yeah, I don't see the problem. Ugh. Okay. Not specialized. Still complaining about that var is not being used. Not specialized. And now I want to specialize it by, say, doing template type name t void read from stream. Same thing. And suddenly it's adding, oh no, it's another thing. I definitely wish I could remove that automatic adding of, there's also settings. Key bindings, fix height, fix, nope. Hardly any editing here. Okay, so I want to get that one because vk flags t. Yep, and foo is this thing, which is this thing, which is flags. So it should be using that one, but it is. Oh, all this difficulty, all this effort to write a test case, and it works already. Then why is it not working here? And I pressed the wrong button again. So this worked, right? I mean, yeah, this one worked. Or didn't it? I cannot remember. That worked, yeah. This one, linked. So that means that if you put a specialization here, it does pick it up. And now I'm making this type name t. T as in exactly there. That's my specialization. Specialization here in XML. VK flags T reference. VK flags T reference. It's exactly the same thing. Yep. And this one worked. So why then would this not work? Nope, not working. Yep, it's getting here. So it's calling the unspecialized version. Now, a trick that I normally use is to make this uncompilable. But it's not working because how can I find out? How on earth can we find out? Yeah, the exact same thing. The exact same thing here. Except here it's using a standard vector instead of VK flags. That is the right way to do it, and still it doesn't see that there is a specialization. Let's make sure that the template is defined before we try to specialize it. By including that. Then now what happens? And it's still not working. Yeah, I don't understand. I'm gonna stop because it's getting late-ish. Damn it. Makes no sense whatsoever. You know, if this, was my main project, as it were, I would just keep pounding on it and pounding on it, and then eventually, maybe days later, I would just find out what is the problem. But I'm only doing this in order to have a little bit better debug output or help in order to find an obscure bug in code that I need for, etc., etc. It's like I don't have time for this. The whole intention was to finish this like tonight. And the only thing that happens is that I run into something that I cannot solve I should abandon the whole idea of the XML serialization at this point, because you just don't have time for it. Anyway, I'm stopping the stream now because it's getting too late.